Ever heard those crazy stories about rich, lonely housewives and the pizza boys who drop off more than they came with? All the same fake stories, right? Hi, I'm Omar, and that's what I always thought, until I started delivering pizzas. That was my first job after I turned 17. My father insisted I focus on my education and wouldn't let me work any earlier than that. So, you could say I was a little inexperienced. Still, I'd been working part-time for just over 3 months, and was doing well, until one Saturday afternoon, when I had to deliver 2 pizzas to this huge double-story gated property. As I knocked on the door, it swung open and revealed a woman standing there, wearing nothing but a satin robe tied to the waist with a sash. And oh Allah, she had the largest pair of watermelons I had ever seen. I immediately averted my eyes and looked down. 1 cheese and 1 BBQ chicken pizza? I just need your signature. Please, ma'am. All the drivers had to get the signature of acceptance from the customer to prove the order had been delivered correctly. She nudged the door open wider with her hip and told me to take the pizzas into the kitchen. I'll sign it there, she said. Sorry, ma'am, but I'm not allowed inside. I won't tell if you don't. I think she whispered, so I'd have to lift my head up to hear her better, but I couldn't look up. I wanted to. So bad. But I just couldn't. It wasn't righteous. So I just kept my head down and stared at my feet. No, ma'am, please sign, I said as I held out the delivery receipt. You look like such a hard worker, and it's so hot. Come in and I'll get you some water. With that, she inched forward until I felt one of her watermelons brush against my cheek. Shocked, I instantly pulled away. I bent down and unzipped the bag, and I pulled the pizza boxes out and gently put them on the ground in front of her feet. Then, I turned around and raced down the driveway to the safety of my car. Back at the store, I told the other drivers what had happened while we were waiting for the next lot of delivery orders. They started laughing when they heard the address. Simon told me that lady was Mrs. Mathers, that she usually ordered on Sunday afternoons, and she was on Sean's route. Adrian butted in. Oh, Omar, ya queer! You should have gone in! Why do you think Sean always takes so long? Oh, yeah, she must be extra hungry tonight, Simon said with a massive grin. Were they serious? They almost beat themselves laughing so hard. Later that evening, my boss called me into the back room. Apparently, Mrs. Mathers had rung and complained. She told him I just left the pizzas out on the front, so he asked to see the delivery receipt. I didn't get the signature, sir, I said. The boss was furious. He told me he would have to refund her money and demanded to know why I had left the pizzas on the ground. I had no words. I don't know, sir. I'm sorry. It wasn't good enough, and just like that, I was fired. On the way home, the only thing I could think about was my father. He was going to be so ashamed of me. I dreaded telling him, but I knew I must. So, when I got home, I asked my father to sit with me while I explained everything. When I finished, he was silent for a minute. Then, he stood up and placed his hand on my shoulder. I looked up at him, scared. I knew I'd brought my family into disrepute. But he just smiled and said I've done the right thing. He told me that he was proud of me, and that real men didn't deliver pizzas anyway.